For all you shutterbugs out there, or if you're an appreciator of fine photography, we've got a fantastic exhibit to tell you about. I'm here at Harborfront Center and I'm feeling inspired. Patrick Macaulay, the head of visual arts, is here to tell me about this new project.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great.
Yeah, we've got a new exhibition which is just opening outside, which is 72 images by 8 emerging artists.
Now, it's called Beyond Imaginings. What am I imagining?
We're imagining Ontario's Greenbelt.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a really big space. That's a big topic. Did you come up with this theme? What's the story behind it?
It came by chance. I was at a meeting and at the Ontario Greenbelt about something completely different, and they have a large map painted on their wall, and I was looking at it saying, holy smokes, this is huge. I thought I understood the Greenbelt, but I didn't. So I left the meeting and came back to Harborfront Center and approached my boss, William Boyle, and I said, what about the Greenbelt? We were looking for another idea for this large exhibition space outside, and he said, the Greenbelt sounds great. Write an email, approach them, see what they say. So I wrote the email, and they said, great, this is a great idea, so that's how it started.
Oh, it's great that a small flash of imagination has turned into this huge full-scale photography. Now, when you say full-scale and large-scale, how big is big?
Well, it's huge. It extends from all through our site. It's 40 large metal structures with 80 images that go from Simcoe Street all the way to the promenade and along the lakeshore.
So when you said big, I thought, well, I've seen really huge installations in Harborfront Center, but this is really big. It's got to be all outside.
It's all outside, and which is probably the most important part of this exhibition is that it is outside. Anybody can see it. It's it's visible all times throughout the day, morning through night. You can walk up to it, you can ride your bike through it. It's wonderful.
Is this your fancy way of saying that it's free?
It's free.
You know how much I love a bargain. Now, I've come to Harborfront Center many times and seen many incredible Toronto-based artists. These are beautiful photographs that I'm seeing just here. Who are the photographers that are part of this exhibit?
Oh, this is just one artist, and her first name is Rita, and I cannot pronounce, and I apologize, her last name. But it's a Toronto West End Gardens, and she's walked through West End Gardens, or those small little plots of land, and photographed the kind of everyday garden.
I love that you can find beauty anywhere, and I think people are probably going to get an eye-opening experience to meet the Greenbelt.
Oh yeah, a lot of people don't understand what the Greenbelt is, and what we did was we commissioned these 8 artists to go through the Greenbelt and discover it in different ways. So all 8 artists were given different directions to go, and it encompasses all the Greenbelt. So it's going to be wonderful. There'll be people working the land. It'll be images of the landscape. It's going to be fantastic.
So as beautiful as Rita's photographs are of the back gardens throughout the city, 8 photographers are really going to give us a primer on what it means to be in the Greenbelt?
You won't. It's beyond imagining.
I see where the title comes from. So then how did you go about picking the 8 photographers of all the incredible talent in this city and a little bit farther afield? How did you do it?
Well, it was a process. We invited 14 artists to submit works and a written statement about why they wanted to do the project. So it's really important that they wanted to do this project. They had to have some kind of commitment or willingness to go into the Greenbelt and really investigate it. So of the 14 that have submitted, we chose 8 from that. So it's been brought down to these 8 young artists that really wanted to do this project, and the diversity in terms of images they take and the subject they approach is fantastic.
And was it a conscious decision to have exterior photographs of big pieces of nature end up on big exterior, huge kind of scale freestanding structures to mount them on?
Well, these structures came to us last year from another exhibition called Respect, which looked at the boreal forest, so a broader view of what is Canada. And so we were looking for another idea to present, and this is the first year that we actually curated and brought the exhibition to these structures. So we were looking at something that could be more directed towards Toronto and Ontario, and so the Greenbelt was a perfect fit.
Well, I definitely remember seeing the huge images of the boreal forest when I was coming down here on the bike. So now I'm going to be seeing a more local aspect of my natural habitat?
You will, because the last exhibition for Respect was from one point of view, from a plane, going over top of the landscape. Here we have people driving cars and stopping and taking pictures of people, of going to farms and taking pictures of the animals, or working with the immigrant workers and the migrant workers, or the generational workers which work the farms that give us food for Ontario.
Well, there's certainly a lot of food for thought, and when people are going to be outdoors and seeing these big, huge structures, what kind of messages or what kind of ideas do you want them to come away with?
What we want to do is to give them an understanding of what the Greenbelt is. It's really important because, like I said at the beginning, I didn't know what the Greenbelt was, and this is an opportunity for us to give an access point to every Ontarian what the Greenbelt is.
And aside from the huge scale of the Greenbelt being news to you, what have you personally learned from seeing the photographs and selecting them?
What I am really thrilled about is just the amazing kind of change that has been brought to my attention from just the different images that each artist has brought to me. It's amazing. Like I couldn't have imagined what would have come to us, but it's amazing.
I guess when you put an idea out there, you never know what the artists are going to come back with.
And that's what the intent was. We put it out as a commission, and they brought something that's fantastic.
So it's a little bit of a risk, a little bit of a surprise, and it's going to be waiting for us outside.
And everybody will love it.
I'm excited to see it. I hope that the weather complies so that everybody all summer long can go out and interact.
It's great. It's the largest outdoor art exhibition in Canada.
The largest one in the country.
Yep.
And it's here in Toronto.
It is.
If you needed another reason for Toronto and Harbourfront Centre to be so special, here it is.
Yep.
So if you're a shutterbug yourself, if you want to learn about the art of photography, is this going to inspire young people?
It will. It's 8 artists photographing in different ways, from large format cameras to digital cameras and to manipulation of the image. It's one of those great exhibitions where you'll see a really broad range of images.
Pretty inspiring indeed. Stay tuned because we have a lot more summertime fun that hopefully will inspire you this summer when we get back. Patrick, I want to go see some things outside. Let's go check it out.